This is the Volvo 240 SE Estate from 1993. Volvo named this car the 240 because it was capable of doing 240 miles an hour. That can't be right. If you fact check this. Oh, guys, this has got an engine swap. Oh my god, it's got so much power. It's ridiculous. It's so fast. It's insane. I'm just breezing by people. It's pulling a wheelie on the main straight at Tokyo Expressway. Oh my god, guys. Okay, this build is seriously mad, guys. I've done the Tokyo Expressway World Touring Car 600 in 25 minutes and 40 seconds with a one-stop strategy over 240 miles an hour down the main straight, and it's just an absolute mad build. You're going to be in the lead of this race by turn 1. Now, it's not necessarily the easiest car to drive, but it's a real fun challenge to just rag this car around Tokyo Expressway. It's absolutely mad, and I'm going to show you exactly how to build it right now. Now, the Volvo 240 will be available at the used car dealership. It's currently not there at the moment. You may already have the car from when it was first launched in one of the previous Gran Turismo updates. So you can see here, it's the Volvo 240 SE Estate from 1993, and we're going to basically throw almost every single upgrade on the car, including an engine swap, a wide body. I'm going to run you through every single detail right now. First of all, head down to GT Auto, head across to car maintenance and service. Now, for this build, we want to do the engine swap. It's only 300,000 credits. It's the LS7 engine from the BRZ drift car, BRZ depending where you're from. So we're going to install this engine now. 300,000 credits is going to just throw the engine from a distance into the engine bay, and we're good to go. And we also want to add the wide body to this, so we're going to need to install the wide body for 25,000 credits. All 4 guys stretching those arches out, that's going to do us absolutely perfectly fine. After you've done those 2 modifications, we're going to head back to GT Auto and then across to car customization. Now, I do use custom wheels on this because A, they look good, and B, we can set the offset, and I personally just use the Rays TE37Vs. I use the wide rim and the wide offset, and I use 17, 16, something in that range. The tire diameter does affect, the wheel diameter, and therefore the sidewall thickness does affect the way the car drives. A thicker sidewall makes the car a little bit easier, a little bit more compliant to drive. A thinner sidewall makes it a bit more direct, a bit more positive, but can give you less overall grip. So I want to use the 17s for now. I'm going to just drop them on the car. Now we're going to go to custom parts, and on the fronts you can choose what you want really. We're not going to be adding any front aero to this because part of the build, that's what we don't want to do, but I think the Type B looks pretty cool anyway, so we're going to go and fit this. For the side, it doesn't really have any significant effect if you want to delete the trim down the side. Yeah, let's go for a bit of a cleaner look down the side. So we're going to Type B down the side. It has no performance effect on the car at all. For the rear, we can just have a body coloured rear section D badge. Yeah, let's go for a full D badge, why not? And then finally, for the rear wing, we do want to add the Type A rear wing because we do want to apply a little bit of rear downforce on this car just to try and tame it. It's absolutely mad. Everything else on the car in the cosmetic side of things is just personal preference. Now we want to head down to the tuning shop. We're going to buy a bunch of parts. I'm going to buy the parts in reverse order to start with because that's the best way to make sure you get the best of the selection. So we're going to buy the ultra high RPM turbocharger. That's going to give us 1,232 horsepower. We're going to buy the carbon prop shaft. Onto the extreme tab. What we're going to get from here, I think we're good from the extreme tab, to be fair. Here, over to racing. We're going to buy the racing brake discs. I'm going to buy the racing clutch and flywheel. Now, specifically for this build, guys, we are not going to buy any suspension components for this. In my testing, I found that even though the car rolls around and does crazy stuff, you just generally have more grip in the car if you don't have any suspension setup on the car at all. Just the default suspension. It's not the easiest to drive, but just the grip in the low speed corners with the stock suspension is more than with a fully customizable suspension, no matter how you really have it tuned, guys. So don't buy any suspension for this car. We do want the brake balance controller. We do want the racing brake pads. We do want the fully customizable racing transmission. Onto this semi-racing tab, let's have a look what we need to have here. So we need to have the fully customizable LSD. We're going to use this to essentially weld up the rear diff. And then heading over to Club Sports, we do want the power restrictor. We do want the ballast, and we don't need anything else from Club Sports. Now over to Sports, we do want to have weight reduction stage 1. We also want these sports medium tyres and these sports soft tyres. And then we want to go back through the menus to install all the other weight reductions. Stage 3, and that's as far as we can go with weight reductions. There is the option to purchase the body rigidity, but I honestly, guys, I need to test this a little bit more because I'm not really finding exactly what it does to the way the car drives in game. I know it should increase body rigidity, it'll make the car feel more direct to drive, but I'm just not feeling it yet. I need to do more testing on that one. Make sure you're subscribed. When I find out, I'll let you guys know. So that's going to cover everything we need to buy. Now let's go and set up the car. From within your garage, head over to car settings. Now we do want to use these sports soft tyres. The sports medium tyres are better for longevity, so if you are suffering with tyre wear, then use the sports mediums. But the sports soft is what I would start the race with, and we're going to go with a slightly split strategy for this one. So we have the normal suspension set, and we can't change any of the suspension settings at all. We have the fully customizable differential, and we're going to set everything to maximum. I want the most differential locking available in this LSD, because I just want to stabilize the car both on the brakes and on throttle, because it's literally mad, guys. It's 1200 horsepower of insanity. For the downforce, heading up to the downforce, I want maximum downforce at the rear. I want some stability because this car is a little bit wild, and I'm going to go for minimum front downforce. You can use more front downforce. The more and more confident you get with the car, the better it will be carving through some of the back section at Tokyo Expressway, but I highly recommend starting with 0 downforce at the front to begin with. Heading down to transmission, I have the fully customizable transmission set all the way to 380 kilometers an hour. I don't change the individual ratios. You could maybe gain a couple of tenths of a second a lap on those ratios, but this car is so mad, guys, you're not going to really benefit from it. And the last thing to change on the settings, on the brake balance controller, set it all the way to the front to try and make the car as stable as possible on the brakes. And the race we will be doing this on is the Tokyo Expressway World Touring Car 600. Head to World Circuits, head over to Asia, head over to Tokyo Expressway, and then across to World Touring Car 600. So the first thing you want to do when you start this race is to switch the fuel mixture to Lean 6. We're going to be using Lean 6 for the whole race, and that's for 2 reasons. A, to get a bit of fuel efficiency, and B, it's just to calm the car down a bit. We've got way too much power on the full rich fuel mixture. So you can sneak down the inside of all these cars here. Over this crest, the car will wheelie, and we're going to be in the lead of this race before 20 seconds has gone. The braking distances are quite long in this car, so get on the brakes early. Second gear through the first corner. Now the car is wild to drive. It's not an easy drive, but it's fun to do. The car sounds incredible. It's got so much power, it's ridiculous. Spinning up the tyres in second gear, spinning up the tyres in third gear as well, up to fourth gear through here, just cruising through here, just being very cautious on steering inputs, throttle inputs as well. It really is a car that is just all about power and not really so much about handling. Third gear through here is all good. Spinning up the tyres all the way through here. The car is so wild. Third gear through here, just float the car in nicely, getting on the gas. It really teaches you weight transfer, this car does, because it just moves around so much. Third gear through here, just leaving the edge of the track. On the braking into the final big braking zone at the 200 board, maybe slightly before, is the safe braking distance, but corners on this track appear that you wouldn't normally consider to be corners. Like just then, you have to back off for that little kink in the road, all the way down to first gear for this slow hairpin. Short shift to second for corner exit because it's just got so much torque, it's unbelievable. just rolling onto the throttle carefully, and then we're just going to get on the gas, firing it down the main straight. Now for this one we're starting on the soft tyres, and there's a chance that we can't get to lap 6 on the soft tyres. So what I'd like to do in this one is to pit on lap 5, then put the medium tyres on to finish the race and do a 7-lap stint at the end as it's wild down the main straight, big wheelie over the crest. What a mad build this is, guys. So my best lap so far in this race is already a 2 minutes 2. That was a particularly scrappy lap, but we're already 16 seconds in the lead of this race, and it's only just starting lap number 4 as the car is just wild through the straight. There are kinks and bends in this track which you didn't even know existed in other cars. This car is so mad and fast. So braking at the puddle into turn 1 all the way down to 2nd gear. The car wants to rotate into the corner, catch the slide. 2nd gear through the second part of the first corner as well. Probably the second corner, to be honest. Shifting into 3rd, still spins its wheels in 3rd, up to 4th. Now I do just back off, float it in, and just take 3rd gear through this switch back here. It is really a mad car to drive. If you feel like you're getting bored of Gran Turismo and you need a bit more of a challenge, then just drive this car. It's absolutely mad. You're going to keep you on your toes, really improve your driving skills, and just really demonstrate weight transfer to the absolute maximum. 3rd gear through this corner, just floating it in, rolling onto the throttle smoothly. Braking and throttling while you're steering is always a bad idea in this car, and it's really going to help to teach you to link brakes and throttle together. Brakes, throttle and steering, in fact. So as you want to get on the gas, you want to be rolling off the steering, and the same with braking as well. It's really going to teach you the art of not overlaying brakes, throttle and steering at the same time. This kink here, it does become a kink. Braking at the 200 board, down all through the gears, down to 1st gear, really slow in the final hairpin, just rolling onto the throttle really smoothly just to keep the car moving forwards, minimising wheel spin. And 3rd gear on corner exit, we're a little bit off our best lap time, but it's such a wild ride, guys. You're going to get a bit of a variance in lap time. That's down the straight to complete lap number 4. Now looking to close out lap number 5, and the rear tyres are looking pretty second hand, so I am going to pit at the end of lap number 5 to get a new set of tyres, and I'm going to throw it into the pits right now, smashing in at 300 kilometers an hour. Now the important thing is I'm going to use medium tyres to finish this race. The reason is that with the track drying out, the tyre wear increases, so I don't think a second stint on those soft tyres will work. So I'm going to use medium tyres to finish this race. That should get me to the end of the race. The 7-lap stints is good on fuel. I'm going to fill just a little bit past the diamond just to make sure. I'm going to exit the pit lane. Be cautious on the first few seconds with these tyres, because we're going to have a little less grip than we had in those sports soft tyres. But now because the track's drying out, you get a bit of a net even driving kind of feeling going on. So exiting the pit lane, we're going to just continue the race and just finish this one off. So finishing these races, we can get them done in about 25 minutes and 40 seconds, and that will vary depending on how successful you are at wrestling this mad Volvo 240 mile an hour beast. It's quite comparable to the Hi-Ace engine swapped Fun Bus, which is another mad build that I've got on my channel. Make sure you go and check that out if you want to do so. If you have found this video useful or enjoyable in any way, then make sure you smash that like button. And on screen right now will be another video which you'll find really interesting. It's going to help you to tune your car in Gran Turismo 7. If you want to change the way your car drives subtly compared to how I recommended to drive it, then go and check out that video and you can get it going exactly how you want it to.